typically speaking, a shorter bearing surface bullet is going to be harder to keep in tune. Because they either like to be jammed a certain amount or jumped a certain amount, and they like to be pretty close to that spot.
Jammed or jumped?
Right.
Jammed into the case or jumped out of it?
No, jammed into the lands
of
the barrel or jumping to the lands of the barrel.
Jumping to the lands.
Mm-hmm. Right. Most jumping's, if you're hunting or shooting competition, you typically don't want to jam because, especially in a hunting situation,
right, exactly.
You don't want because
if
what can happen?
If you
Why
had
are they
to
called jam and jump?
Literally, well, it's pretty
physically
intuitive.
Yeah. So like when you're talking about when you actually chamber.
Thank you, Scott.
When you chamber the round
Now I get it.
into the gun.
Yep.
The bullet knows the ogive, that curved part.
Yeah.
Stabs the rifle
right into the rifle. And the reason in a hunting,
that's a jam.
That's a jam.
A jump is where it's just kind of like it's
got a gap.
It's got
before
some
it hits.
It's got to jump before it gets there. It gets a heading.
And
a
jam
gets a running start.
Oh, I get. Okay.
A jam is bad for hunting because if you chambered a round that jammed into the lands, and then you ended up maybe at the end of the day or whenever you were getting back in a vehicle and you had to unchamber that round, what can happen is if it's jammed into those lands tightly enough, they'll grab the bullet. You go to eject it and you pull the case right off the back of the bullet.
Yep. It's just
and
stuck
you've got
in
a
there.
bullet jammed into the
and a pile of powder
inside
everywhere.
your gun. Big mess. Yeah.
I was going to ask about that earlier when you were talking about like when you're seating that bullet and having it be a little bit looser, and like why I generally don't worry about that. And what popped into my head is a buddy of mine, his wife's father had reloaded, these bullets. She was going on, I think, her first deer hunt, and he wanted to reload these bullets for her, and it was like this really special thing. And I don't know the whole. I think she shot and maybe missed or whatever. Anyway, she loaded one, went to eject the shell, and she had the
big mess.
The bullet stayed in the barrel, and nothing else did. And then they had a whole situation on their hands. So.
Then if you don't have a way to get the bullet out of there, you're even, because you can during clean the powder, but if you don't have a cleaning rod and the bullet's really jammed, there's just no way to get it out.
Okay. So in that case, then that's it kind of makes sense now why you're saying maybe you would trade a little BC to get a little bit more bearing surface. Does that help then with your consistency?
Well,
or am I just totally you're compartmentalizing.
You're not sure. No, you're definitely not wrong, or maybe compartmentalizing a little bit.
Yeah, because you can't just make the bearing surface bigger and everything's better, right?
And it's not always better because there's more that goes into it, right? So if you have a long bearing surface but still have a secant ogive, and now we're going to get into something else here.
Perfect. This is where we like to be.